Molly Picklum taking on Brisa Hennessy and Bronte Macaulay. Bronte Macaulay, the local here from Gracetown, just down the road. And you got to have a Macaulay in the event here at Margaret River. It's later on in the event last year, in that center off tour, back to the Challenger Series. Taking off on this wave, it'll just be a quick up and down from Brisa Hennessy.
Oh, absolutely. I had a number of heats with the guys I was traveling with. Jake, Tommy Whitaker, Nathan Webster, all those guys. And you do actually try that a little bit harder. You really want to get one on those guys.
Our goofy foot in the mix is the local hero, Bronte Macaulay. Sweeping off the bottom incredibly late, but still attacking a big section. Priority with the yellow jersey of Molly Picklum. All set up work for Pickles, and she'll have to step off, so kind of even there, and everyone just getting a warm-up wave. It's up to Brisa if she wants it. And we will have a taker of Molly Picklum just wisely positioning herself to get the first completion out of the way. Just a one-turn moment there for Pickles, and she'll step off. Go back to Molly on her completed maneuver here.
Yeah, just a little hung up on the first takeoff. She got the hit there, and then the wave just... You do have to get into the rhythm with the sets. You have to pick your waves wisely, It's all about getting those two turns out the back and then getting that final finishing move. And at the moment, wave choice is a problem in this heat. They need to tidy it up.
Once again, the elimination round is going to be incredibly dramatic here at stop number 5. During the interview with Tyler, Brisa got this way.
Yeah, not a bad wave for Brisa. Great opening turn. She gets that second swoop. Transitions. Third maneuver unfortunately comes unstuck behind her. Bronte, bigger wave on the backhand. Just looking for that moment to go and hit the lip, and just timed it a little bit late.
When you stand on the bluff here at main break, you get to see so many lines coming through. This one going right to world number 1, Molly Picklum. Fades that first section. Pushes hard off the bottom on that DH. And now patiently waits for the lip. That's a tough section to come down with.
Right, unless Bronte Macaulay's in it. And this is Molly's ride. So starting to get things going. A bit of a sleepy cutback to start off. That second turn. Also a little sleepy. Gets to this final turn here and just...
changes shape quite a bit, and you're running out of water as you approach that rock shelf. Here comes the local hero, Bronte Macaulay. Snap on the open face, and she steps off. It's interesting talking to Bronte at the press conference the other day. She's competed at the high level for so many years. I was wondering how that would change competing in a local trial.
A little off balance as the lip came down, so just not quite on the timing that we're used to seeing from Molly Picklum. This was Bronte outside. A couple of good swooping cutbacks here. She gets this turn on the inside, Joe, and then she pulls out. Is very you can't ignore it when you come here. There's a feeling, there's an energy that you pick up on, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later. Here we go, live action.
Nice roll in from Brisa Hennessy. Now sets up her opening hook. Always aggressive on the open face. Good for one move. That'll back up her 4.67.
Right, Joe. It's an audible, and I'm going to take an audible right now because Molly Picklum paddling into this wave. Pickles off the bottom. Good-looking wave here. Snaps off the top. Had to wheelie down that section, Joe. And a nice finishing set of maneuvers. Take it away.
There's the finish. Stays on her feet. She'll eject right on that rock shelf.
That was going to be a giant score. Up to this point, the heat was still wide open, and you can see the difference with Molly on this wave. The pace is better. She's settled into the rhythm of the wave now. Didn't try to overcook it like she did on her first couple of waves. Gets to the final hit, so those 3 strong maneuvers. You can see here that offshore wind, while super pretty, does create these little bumps. Little airdrop there after that first turn, but didn't overextend on the turn. Kept the nose pointing down the line, up and over this lip. And sometimes, Joe, the bottom turn is from halfway up the face of the wave out here at Margaret River. It can be quite a slopey face at some time.
Rolling in the goofy foot from WA, Bronte Macaulay. Goes down a clean top turn arc. Patience off the bottom. Nice snap again. Now Macaulay creating some space. Nice little giddy up to get to that end section. Unfortunately, though, couldn't hang on to the backside hack. But I love the pace she got off the bottom in a challenging section to pick up speed.
Great looking wave. And the advantage of the goofy footers, they can come right from around the section up high into the hook. And Bronte looks fantastic on this wave. The second hit, timed it perfectly, didn't go too high, and just so unfortunate. Look at the greats in our sport, from Mark Occhilupo, Emma, Kelly Slater, Tom Curran. You know, the list goes on. Think of the modern world. We'll get back to that. Brisa.
Wrapping cutback for Costa Rica is Brisa Hennessy. Driving into a solid section. Absolutely drills it. Great management of speed. Really opened up when it got critical in front of her. And things have been changing very quickly. Brisa had the lead for a moment with scores in from Molly Bronte back-to-back. She's dropped back to third. What'd you see here, Richie?
Yeah, much better. Fades off the bottom for the first turn. Gets the wrap back into the power source, and then gets this finishing turn here. Just extends, but was able to stay compressed enough. So watch here. She fully extends out and now compresses the body. It falls out from under her. And she sits down on the turn a little bit just to make sure she rides out of it.
World number one in motion. Molly Picklum with some open face. Love that grab rail fade. Sets up the second hook with the rebound. Wraps it over the boil on this inside track. She'll run out of water there. Some of these waves will kind of drop you off early and you kind of miss that inside brick section, as we've often called it. And sometimes the closeout section demands you to ride away right on top of it.
You don't need to overcook that final turn. You don't need to push it too hard. So Molly gets a beautiful grab rail carve here, showing the judges something different already. And another one. Nice wrap. And a third. So, yeah, she's really starting to find a bit more flow. But they've started to relax a little bit. They're focusing on what they need to do, but certainly, you know, talk to the locals. They'll tell you West is best, and it is. It's one of the most pristine and beautiful coastlines for so many different reasons.
Paddling right here is Brisa Hennessy, who got a 5.83 before we went to the break. Still in third as she lays down her opening turn. Wave face slopes out. She still fits in a wrap. And look at what she's left with. The wave almost completely stops breaking as she's run out of water there. She's down to 6:15 on the clock to try to avoid a trip into the elimination round. Could happen depending on what other athletes may do as we take a look from this angle.
Oh, the start of this wave looked great, and that first turn, really liking how Brisa just pushed it a little bit harder, got some tail release from the first turn. Unfortunately, there wasn't much down the line.
You're actually pushing to feel 100%.
Yeah, so many different feelings and emotions that you have to deal with on top of just being physically fit and in peak performance. Brisa up again, just a quick one.
Such a kind soul, Brisa Hennessy. And we've seen her sister in the main event as well. Minute 25 on the clock. Bronte holds priority, and she will take this wave. Beautiful conditions this morning for the Goofy Foot to attack her home break. Flows over the white water. Messy section, didn't really give her any room to finish. But the key thing was for this matchup for Bronte was to make sure Brisa wasn't on that wave.
We just saw then that was Katie Simmons just coming unstuck, first ride of her heat. But yeah, big result there for Bronte, getting the win and a little confidence booster over the yellow jersey leader.